Hello everyone and welcome to this short warrior practice. We're going to practice only 3 poses in this practice. So we'll do a warrior 2 pose, we'll do a extended side angle pose, and a reverse warrior or an exalted warrior. So you may be wondering, like, how are we going to fill up 10 minutes with only 3 poses? We're going to try and do them at all different orientations or like levels, meaning standing, seated, kneeling, using a chair, all kinds of things. So to do that, we need a chair. I have these blocks here. You don't necessarily need blocks, but maybe you want a pillow to sit on later on. So we can start. We'll do the first one standing up. So maybe we want to come into our mountain pose. I already caught myself. We're doing 4 poses. Mountain pose. Engaging our butt muscles, engaging our core, hands down by our sides. We'll take a step back with our right foot. Maybe it's on a little bit of an angle, maybe 45 degrees, leaning into that front knee, bending that front knee. You can take a step forward if that feels better in your body. Our hips are going out in different directions. And we can bring our hands up at shoulder level. Your arm that's in front is going to be the same as the leg. So this is my left leg, left hand. Looking over those front fingertips. This is our warrior 2. And then we can take that front forearm, bringing it down onto our front thigh, raising the other hand up towards the sky, looking up. And then we come back to our warrior 2. And this time, maybe we want to flip that front palm, lowering that back hand, raising it up. Option to look up towards that hand. Breathing. And then we can come back to our warrior 2. We'll lower it, we'll come down, we'll come into our mountain pose. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn to face the other way. That way you're not facing my back. We're going to bring that opposite leg back. So this time I'm bringing my left leg back. We're going to have that 45-degree angle in our foot, leaning into that front knee. Hips are going out 2 different ways. Looking forward, lifting up those arms. Front arm is the same as the leg. Looking over, flipping that front palm, raising it up towards the sky, looking up. Now we're going to have a reverse warrior. And then coming back to warrior 2. And then we can bring that forearm down to our thigh, raising the other arm up and looking up. Breathing. Coming back to our warrior 2. And then bring our hands down and coming into mountain. So that's a standing version. What do you think? Did you like it? We can also do it with a chair. I like doing it with a chair. It's fun. Just changes it up a little bit. If you do a lot of standing warrior poses, mixing in the chair is just something fun to do. So for me, I bring one foot up onto the chair. That'll be my front leg. And then you can raise up your arms just like you did in the other standing version. Breathing. Option to flip that front palm, raising it up, bringing that other arm down to the back of your body, looking up at that hand. Coming back. And then we can bring that hand down to the forearm, raising that arm up towards the sky. Coming back to that warrior 2, bring our hands down and our foot down. Noticing, did you like it with the foot up? You also don't have to use a chair, you can use a table, something like that. I'm just going to move my chair, you don't have to. I'm just doing it so you're not looking at my back. We bring that foot up. We come into that warrior again. Same arm in front is the leg that's in front. Option to flip that front palm, raising that hand up, lowering this other hand down the back, looking up. Coming back to that warrior 2. Then coming down on the forearm, raising the other one up, looking up. Breathing. Coming to that warrior 2 one more time, and then lowering ourselves down. So that's the second standing option. Our next option is a kneeling option. And if you don't like kneeling, don't do it. You can do another standing one. or you can do it seated on the ground. So when I kneel, we have some options. We can be on our hands and knees, or we can put a pillow underneath our knees, or we can put a pillow underneath our hands. So I'm going to do it with a pillow underneath my knees. So I'm putting a big pillow here. It doesn't have to be a yoga pillow. It could be any type of pillow. It could be a blanket. You can also roll your mat in half, and so it's like a double layer, just to reduce any soreness you might feel on your knees. So now I'm on my knees. I'm going to come down onto my forearms. If it doesn't feel good in your wrists, don't worry. We won't be down here for that long. But you can hold onto blocks. That might help. So we can come up to a kneeling position. Take a second here. And we're going to bring one knee out in front. So I've brought my left leg out in front. Now my other leg is back. I'm going to take my toes and turn them a little bit behind me. So it might feel more comfortable to have your toes facing the back of the body rather than having them out straight. So you choose there, but it does feel a little bit better, and it keeps your hips in the same direction as standing. We can raise up our hands so we're at that warrior level again. Option to flip that front hand, bringing it up, lowering the one back down towards the ground, looking up. And then coming back. And then we can bring that forearm down to the leg, raising the other arm up again. Breathing, coming back to that warrior two. We can lower that down, and we can bring that leg around so we're kneeling again. Again, I'm just going to turn. You don't have to. You're just going to bring the opposite leg forward. Woo. So bringing that opposite leg forward. Might be nice to do this beside a wall so you could hold it for some support. We'll bring our arms up for that warrior two. Looking over those front hands, flipping that front palm, raising our hand up. Coming back to that warrior two again, then lowering that front arm down to the leg, raising the other arm up, looking up. Coming to that warrior two one last time, lowering it down, and then we can bring our feet down. And we're going to come to sit down. So I'm going to come to sit on the pillow. You can sit anywhere that works for you. You don't have to sit on a pillow. I just like to. It's comfy for me. It also gives me a little bit more space between my body and the ground, which I like. So I'm going to come into butterfly pose, which is where my feet are together, my knees are out to the side. If this feels really good for you, you can do your warrior flow here. Just make sure you pick which side is the front. So like you're going to say like this is the left side, then I'm going to put my left arm out, that's the front. This is the back. So you have to decide which way you're going. But another way you can do it is you can take one foot and bring it behind you. So now we have one leg that's coming out towards the side and bent back. This can be a little stressful in the knees, so you could take a pillow and put it underneath your knees. You can do it with blocks too. It probably won't be as comfy. So let's breathe here. If you're feeling knee pain here, maybe you want to move your knee up a little bit closer. It doesn't have to be fully in line with your body. Mine's definitely not. Maybe you want to raise those hands up. And for me, the leg that's in front is my front leg. So I bring that arm out, take a breath, flip that front palm, raise it up, lowering that back hand back down towards that foot that's on the ground behind me, or bring it to the ground. Coming back to the warrior two. Then bring that hand down to the front, raise the other one up. Coming back to that warrior two again, and then lowering our hands down. We can bring our foot in if it's back behind us. Take a breath here, and then we'll do that on the opposite side. So bringing that back, then we're bringing the other leg out in front. We can sit tall, finding whatever leg's in front. Hopefully it's the opposite. Raising those arms up. Flipping that front palm lowering that back hand, looking up, and then coming back, bringing that back arm up again, then lowering it down, lowering your front arm down, raising the top one up, taking a breath, coming back to that warrior two. This is our last warrior two of the practice. Lowering those hands down. We can come back into butterfly pose and take a breath. Notice how that felt for you. Did you enjoy that practice? Did you enjoy exploring the same movements, but just in different ways? Seated, standing, using different props. So you choose sort of what version works for you when you're practicing. So sometimes it's nice to try things like this, trying out different poses in different places and standing versus seated and seeing which one feels best for you in your body. And the other thing to think about is that what feels best for you today, because it might change. And every day you practice, you might feel a little bit different. So thank you. And hopefully you send some gratitude to yourself for practicing today.